What is up, everybody? It's Blind Metal Gamer here, and it's now time for another episode of the Blind Side Podcast. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about something that I am very passionate about, and it is something very near and dear to me, and that is the PlayStation 2 gaming console. And you're probably wondering, why would I choose this for the season finale of the Blind Side Podcast? Well, it's something that I am very passionate about, and I am very versed in the knowledge of the system. So we're going to begin with this. You're probably wondering, Blind Metal Gamer, what about your original guest, Amanda Kiernan? I would like to apologize before we commence tonight's event that she could not make it tonight due to technical issues, and I will make sure that she is on at a later time. So she will get her time on the podcast. It'll just not be tonight due to technical related issues. So, as for the tonight's content, I do want to acknowledge that this is something that I was not planning to do tonight. This is just something I had to do spur of the moment. So, with that being said, we're going to get started. The PlayStation 2 was released in North America on October 26th, 2000, and it was just a bombshell. I remember personally speaking, I wanted to pre-order a PlayStation 2 and get it just the first day, be the first one to have it, and experience the whole new console experience, and experience what it was like to have a brand new game console in my house, in my life, and have a very good opportunity there. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. I had to wait until February of 2001 to get my console, and it was worth the wait because I got to experience some great experiences on that machine, which we'll get to in a little bit. But I remember leading up to the console's launch, or at least when I got the console, I would see a PlayStation 2 commercial on TV. I would get furious because I was so wanting one so bad. It was just right in my face, and it was all just right there in my face, and kind of like a aha moment. You should have your console now. But I think by waiting until early in the next year to get it, I think that showed me a valuable life lesson in that you don't want to buy it day one because it could be buggy, or it could be flawed, or it could be messed up. So I got my PlayStation in February of 2001, and when I got it, I was just really, really happy because I was not only getting PS2 games, but I was also getting the ability to have PlayStation 1 games and DVDs and music CDs. You got to understand, this is 2001 here, so DVDs were a big deal in my life. It was my first DVD player, and I got to have a PlayStation along with that in one unit. Yeah, sign me up. So I'd saved up the money in a work program I was in the summer before, in the summer of 2000. I scrimped and saved up. I worked for 5 weeks at a park called Kentucky Kingdom. It was called Six Flags Kentucky Kingdom back then. And I worked in the Looney Tunes movie store behind the front counter. So I did that for 5 weeks straight, on over a month. And, got the money saved. I'm thinking, yeah, I get to get my PlayStation and get to really jam out. But then when I had to wait until after Christmas, earlier next year, I was like, oh man, this sucks. So I get the system, and I still had some money left over to buy games or whatever. But I needed a vast library of games to start off with. So my late brother gave me, I believe it was Tenchu Stealth Assassins, Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. He found me Diablo on the PlayStation, which I was very grateful for, because I wanted that in the worst possible way. And that started my fandom for Diablo, by the way, which we'll get into some other time. Then I got into the first PlayStation 2 game I bought was called The Summoner. I thought, oh, this looks cool. So I get it, and it was a good concept, but I couldn't get into it. I don't know what it was about it, but I just couldn't get into the initial concept because I wanted Diablo. I wanted Diablo in the worst way. But I got, this THQ thing. There was a Summoner too, but I don't think I ever played it. But Summoning 1 was pretty cool. Then Christmas of that year, I got Devil May Cry, Half-Life, Metal Gear Solid 2. And by the way, at that time, video rentals were still a big thing in Japan. So, or not in Japan, but here in the U.S. This was way before Netflix or anything like that. So, we had a store in our hometown called Movie Warehouse. And I would go there almost every week, rent games, and if I liked a game, there was a game I liked, I bought it. And I really, that's how we get a lot of my video games. Is I would rent them first to see if I liked it, and then if I liked it, I would buy it. But yeah, the PS2 gave me many a great memories. Devil May Cry. Let's see, Soul Reaver 2, which I never did get around to owning, but I rented it enough times to merit a purchase. I could have purchased it as many times as I rented that game. I could have bought that game outright. Very good game, very amazing game, and a game that is definitely worth a play if you've not played it. Then let's see. We have Blood Omen 2. I remember this was back, again, early 2002. I bought Blood Omen 2. I'd saved up the money, went out the day it came out, and bought it in my hometown. So that was pretty cool. Buying that game outright was a pretty awesome experience. I really enjoyed that. Very good game. It was one of the first games I actually beat. And then, let's see, move on to 2003. And later in 2002, you had Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. Now, I was going to have that game. I'm a big Mortal Kombat fan. A Mortal Kombat mark. I've played every Mortal Kombat up to 11. And Mortal Kombat 5, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, hooked me up. So, I didn't pre-order that game right away. I rented it from the video store I mentioned earlier, which is no longer in business. They're defunct. They kind of folded several years ago. But anyway, they had Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. We got it, and again, me and my brother and all of us just played it and enjoyed the holy hell out of it. Then in Christmas of '02, I wanted Deadly Alliance Mortal Kombat. I didn't get it, so I had to go out and buy it myself. And when I bought it, it was just such a great thing because I knew I was getting the game that I wanted, and I was going to have fun with it. And then, let's see, 2003, games such as, I'm trying to think of what games I played in '03. Oh, man. Games of '03. Oh, yeah, WWE SmackDown Here Comes the Pain was a big one. Backyard Wrestling, Don't Try This at Home was a real big game I played. Let's see, other games that of '03. I'm trying to think. This is so far back. I don't really remember. Oh, yeah, I don't, but those are the big ones of '03 that I remember playing. Then, the next year came around, 2004, there was another Mortal Kombat on the horizon. Now, this is my first experience ever pre-ordering a game and getting the premium pack. So, I was wanting it, wanting to get it. We were, my family and I were trying to figure out the best route to go and the best route to be doing this at. So, I did, couldn't find the version that was cheap, so I had to get the full $60 version. So I came home one weekend. I was doing some training. I came home, and my mother had sent me and said, "Look, I got an early Christmas present for you," and it was MK Deception, and that gave me many a great experiences. The game was great. You got Mortal Kombat 1 for, this is a $10 bonus, so that wasn't too shabby, And then, let's see, online gaming. So around that time, 2006, I had to replace my large PS2 with a slimline one because the slimline one, the big one went shot. how things do. They go short after so many years. So I get the slimline one. Oh, and I forgot to mention God of War in 2005. That was a big one too. That was a huge game because that ushered in a lot of games and whatnot that I'll get into in a little bit. Um, so I get the small PS2, and everybody's telling me play online. You need to get online and play your game online. Okay, fine. So I begged and begged and begged, got the stuff. I had to, convince my family to let me do this because they were real leery about it. So I basically got the stuff I needed, got it set up, and I went and got online with Mortal Kombat Deception. Made several friends of mine that I still am friends with today. Let's see. Then I discovered Mortal Kombat Armageddon in 2007. Yeah, they had that. No, it wasn't 2000. It was 2006, the fall of '06, to be exact. That was one of the first games I had actually pre-ordered, and I had actually went out and paid off to get the full version. It was $50 for the premium version, so I got it. And when I got it, it was a great game. You could make your own fighter, you could make your own character, take it online, go online, do ranked matches. I just love the whole aspect of that game and its setups and its combos and all that. I wish they would bring that back in a remastered format someday. So if Ed Boon or anyone at NetherRealm Studios is listening, this is my request to make a 3D era remaster collection for PS4 or even the next gen consoles, PS5. Make that 3D era remaster and get it working right and give us gamers what we want, which is the 3D era of games brought back. And then let's see. The PS2 by this time was kind of winding down, going into the PS3 era. So I had quite a bit of games. I had the Blood Element 2. I had rented games such as Gun, Red Dead Revolver. Of course, all the WWE games: SmackDown vs. Raw, SmackDown vs. Raw 6, 07, and 08. SmackDown Just Bring It, SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. A lot of good games. So yeah, definitely a good console. And I wish they would make Sony would make a PS2 Mini, and don't screw it up this time. Make it the right way, and don't use the PAL region to emulate it. Use the US version. Make a PS2 Mini and make it where it will actually do right and run right. And where it won't be all bloated and full of crap. That's what I want to see. As a gamer and as a person that loves PlayStation consoles, another PlayStation Classic only with the PS2 architecture in mind, not the not that crappy PlayStation 1 Classic. And then let's see, Legacy of Kain Defiance back in '03. That was a good game. I forgot to mention that one. That was a good game. It was kind of the swan song of the Legacy of Kain series up to that point. And then let's see, I played Spawn Armageddon. That was a good game. I loved that game. I rented it several times. Should have bought it, but didn't. Didn't get the chance, so I kind of missed out on a good gaming opportunity there. Then, to really end my PlayStation 2 experience, God of War 2 was on PS2, which I kind of figured, going into that one it would be. Then Fire Pro Wrestling returns. Me and a friend of mine at the time played it together, and it was a good game. It was a pretty cool experience. My first foray into the Fire Pro Wrestling series. Just a lot of good games that I would, play and try on the system, and it was great. I wish, like I said, they need to bring that back in the PlayStation 2 Mini or something. So, I'm going to go on and wrap this thing up. This has been the season finale of The Blind Side for Season 1. I will be starting Season 2 in the fall. Getting things ready to go for that. So, And again, I apologize for Amanda Kiernan not being able to join tonight. She will be back on as soon as possible, and we'll get things going with that and get that going for you. So, until next time, until season 2 in the fall, this has been Blind Metal Gamer saying so long, everyone, and stay safe, and peace out.